All right. What's up, everybody? Third I Cam. Today's date, December 24th, 2021. Time is 15:43. Out looking at some planets, but I'm not going to cover that right now. I want to hit a different topic because I do watch a lot of other people out here. And as we all know, the world is going crazy. Some truths are being exposed against certain people who have a certain spirit. And before y'all start jumping to conclusions, it literally is not a racial thing, but it's a spiritual thing. That's how I see it. And there's this one video I was watching, and I'm gonna be respectful towards the person and not say her name. And I'm respecting what her topic is about. But the question that was put out was, what have we done? What has humanity done that makes us so pretty much so bad? It was like a two-part video. They asked, what have we done? And then I listened to the first video, and it's like you can say certain things and be vague about it and try to make it seem like you're the victim. And that's where the whole Karen thing sprang up from, where you go out and you know your ass is guilty, but you try to make it seem like you're the victim in the whole situation. I'll give an example. I've always had a problem with let's be specific, because I'm a specific person. I do specifics. I don't like generals. That irks the crap out of me. And I'm not going to try to use too many colorful metaphors. I'm going to be intelligent as I can. But if you are going to ask a broad question, and I hope this person sees my video, it irks me to have to water down my words, because I'm a very specific person. And I really hate getting into this topic because I still feel it's too heavy for me, but I have lived through it. I have dealt with other people's racial barriers who put some knucklehead above me when I knew more than that knucklehead, because in this world they say it's all about not what you know, but who you know. And I will say specifically because of the tone of my skin that those persons made it about a racial barrier. Let me give y'all some history on me. You see my features. I have an Irish great-great-grandfather. George Washington Alexander. That was his name. Like many others, he owned slaves, but the one thing about him is that he freed them up, and they stayed with him and worked around him because they loved him. And I'm pretty sure he put, his seed out in different directions through different pre-owned slaves or whatever. So what? He did that. That's on him. I have a great-grandmother who's from Mexico City. I have another great-grandmother who's Native American, to which all of my people are Native American. Right here in this country of America. We're starting to find out through history, through hidden history, which is our story, which they call mystery, which is my story, that a lot of my people were already here in America before Europe, Spain, everybody else came over to the Americas, which is South America, Central America, North America, Canada, America, because it's a part of that too. And this was written in the Bible. So therefore I'm establishing that this is above me and beyond me, and therefore it is above you and beyond you. So if you're going to ask such a broad question as to why humanity is being punished for something that somebody else did from 1900, 1800, 17 through 1492 and on back. And then you want to paint yourself as the victim, that you don't want to be punished for your ancestors' actions, when in the very Bible, the Torah, the Sefer, and the Holy Bible, which is the watered down version of the Torah and the Sefer, the Sefer, that's what some people call it. I have one. Matter of fact, mine's in the back. I got to get it. I always put it in the back. We all recognize that the world is bigger and broader than us. We ain't God. I have a God, you have a God. There's more than one God on the planet. That's why the Most High God, the one that created all this, everything, he had to go to war with a lot of other gods. Just like if me and y'all was in a wrestling pit, or just like wrestling, since you want to do individuals or boxing or UFC, you got to fight your way to the top to get to the reigning champ. So the Most High God has always been the reigning champ from the beginning, and he created other sub-gods under him that were gods to somebody else or something else. And he allowed them mercy to get their little rocks off before he intervened. Since we have never met God that we know of, and he wrote his rules however he wrote it, we don't get to question his rules. So if you're going to ask the question, what have we done wrong? You need to project that question to God and not the people of Facebook out in the world. And don't try to paint yourself as like the victim. I hate going over topics like this. And trust me, it really ain't no reason to be mad. There's no reason to be mad with the way that your society, if you are living in America and you fall under privilege because of your skin color, because that's something that man made up and not God, and then you're trying to make it seem like you didn't do nothing wrong. Yeah, you didn't do nothing wrong. But God established some rules against everybody should they F up. Should they mess up. As a whole, mass punishment. I didn't do anything. I just got born as I am. Don't matter my complexion. If I'd have been light skin, brown skin, yellow skin, green skin, blue skin, purple, red, so-called black. That's a color that falls up under the word indigo. And the detachment from the word indigo is Indian. And Indian connects to the word native. I'm a descendant of Aboriginal people. There's a history line behind that. A lot of y'all ain't gonna like it. I'm not even gonna tap on it right now. Trust me, if I went to the specifics of it, a lot of y'all would probably like, oh, this dude don't know what he's talking about, and they're like, unlike. But I don't really care about that. I'm setting this up so once you get this in your mind, then I'll go into that other topic later. Again, I don't like doing these topics. Third Eye Cam was initially supposed to be for hard questions to get to the answers of it, but these planets came in, and there's one sitting over here right now. Let me show y'all real quick. And then I'll get back to my topic, just so to let you know I'm in my favorite spot. Hold up. So I just opened my door. There it is right there. See how the clouds are dancing around it? I've been watching it come up for the longest. So, but that's not today's topic. You know what? Let me show you this one. There's one over here. That one. There's a whole planet sitting at the treetop. See it? See it? See it? All that. All right, so let me get back to my topic. So let you know how I'm establishing myself. Now, don't nobody hate nobody on the planet. I don't hate nobody's skin color. I swear to God. I just explained to y'all my great grandfather was a white guy, Irish. I'm not getting emotional. I'm getting heated at people because some people, they get so privileged and so stuck in their little diaper, their little world diaper, that all of a sudden now you're really having to take a piss in your diaper, your privileged diaper, and you taking your first shit in your privileged diaper, but you don't know how to wipe yourself. Let me give you some history on what I know, what I've learned in some books, and I can decipher the BS from the real S, the BS from the real S. I'm using clean words here, and I hate hitting on this topic. I ain't afraid to hit on this topic. Trust me, I ain't afraid to hit on no topic. I've had racial discussions with my Marines who did not understand black people who didn't understand Asian people, Hispanic people, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So I am well versed in this. Like straight up, me and my Marine counterparts, and thank God for them, there's nothing wrong with diversity. We've had discussions about the word cracker, spig, wetback, honky, nigger, negro, negrito, nigga, nagas. The reason why I put these words out there, and I don't have no problem putting them out there, and y'all should not be cringing up like, oh my God, he said it. I've been saying this word since I was like in my single digits when I learned what it was. Didn't know what it was because I heard my ignorant people's talking about it. That word was not a bad word. It got made bad by some ignorant people who freaking were really uneducated, and they were in their privileged diaper, and they were in a position where they were allowed to rule the world through their privilege. So and I don't even ask this question. At first, when I was ignorant, I was mad at the creator because I was like, why am I getting punished for something that my stupid ass ancestors did? Because I didn't understand and I didn't do the research. You know what I mean? I was just asking. So I'm in the same position that I'm addressing this person in who's asking that same question. What have we done? You need to go do some biblical research and historical research to show where your ancestors screwed up, and beyond your ancestors, how the other people screwed up of other ancestors of other races that your ancestors tormented. You really need to look through the Bible to find that the one true God, the Most High, his name is Yahweh. A lot of people call him by different names, Yahuwah. He established these rules, and it was a test to see who was going to fail. Just like when you go into a game, they put rules out there. You can't be in basketball fouling nobody. Football, you can't do that either, however they call it. Every game has rules. Boxing, you can't undercut nobody below the belt. You get penalized for that. In their case, they take money for it, sit them down on the bench, or eject them out the game. This world started out really fair. And a few fallen angels who probably got sick of God, because I go through this all in my head, they probably got sick of God, and they was like, I'm sick of his ass. His rules are too strict. I just want to go see them fine women down on that planet. I want to go sleep with all of them and give them babies. Typical man stuff. But God said, no, you can't do that. And according to parts of the Bible, if it's true, and I'm pretty sure it's true, that when God made Adam, he breathed his spirit into him. God breathed his spirit into Adam. And Satan didn't get that hookup from God. So that's where the problem started. Some people say that God tormented Satan by letting him have a taste of like dominion of the earth, however he, ran it. I forget the word that he was the top guy. It'll come back to me. But God gave him that privilege, and then something he did that irritated God. I think he probably fussed with God a lot, and he started losing respect for God. And then he felt like he should, have it his way. God said no, and then God created Adam and said, I'm going to give let us make man dominion over everything on earth. And it pissed Satan off, and rightfully so. Like, let me pose this question to y'all. How would y'all like if I came into your house, if you was renting your own place and you don't work hard for it, paid your rent, whatever, And then the landlord come in and say, hey, I'm going to give your entire house and all your belongings to this guy. Me. Wouldn't that piss you off? Your guns, your freaking food, your money, your woman, your kids. And I'm just putting it out there just like, so don't take it the wrong way as an example. And the reason I wanted to hit home also in your chest plate, because all of us would be like, hell no, you ain't, I'll fight for mine. So that's how Satan felt. But somewhere, since God was the landlord, God got to say what God could do. And that was just that. That's like if I, with me in this truck, I do Uber. So if somebody gets in my truck and starts acting stupid, I got the right to tell them to get the hell out and cancel them. Go find another way. So God owned the earth like that because he made it, but he gave the privilege to them for a while. And because God is God, he get to make up the rules. So if you believe in God and God is God and God get to make up the rules, then you cannot question that question. If you have that question, you need to do your research. You can't just throw it out there with a little Karen type attitude. And that's the attitude, not a skin color. Y'all make me so sick with this shit. I know everybody to a degree hates somebody's skin color. I had to break that down because I went through that phase too. And I know all y'all did too. Because I'm going to tell you, and I say this to my peoples all the time, your skin color is your thought process. It's not like culture, because it didn't start out that way. In the beginning, historically, everything started out as in like your tribe. And as stuff trickled down through history, his story, not my story, because my story originated in a tribe. And it wasn't no naked people running through the forest. Not beyond Adam and Eve. After they clothed themselves, that was that. I just learned that my ancestors and where I'm from, and it makes sense because it's been in my family forever, that I'm a part of the people that built civilization, like from the beginning. And I ain't got no problem with that. I'm a part of the people that turned their back on God and God put us into slavery. And that allowed a lot of y'all to generate the attitude that if you had brown skin, you were just born a slave. Well, you know what? You came later in life, because my peoples, before they went to slavery and before they turned their backs on God, they civilized the world. There was an ancient world on these very lands that we live that were more technological than what we think we're living in today. I'm not trying to get too deep off into this because this will screw y'all minds up. But I've been learning a lot. I've been reading books a lot. A lot of people say, well, do you believe everything you hear? No. But I'm intelligent enough to disseminate BS from real S. I'm really trying to keep my words clean because I feel exonerated when I let my colorful metaphors go. I was a Marine. I'm going to be a Marine to my life, end of my life. My mama was the first sailor I ever knew that cursed like a champ. Straight up. She'll probably be embarrassed, but I don't care. I would say sorry, mama, but I'm not really worried about that. You didn't choose your words carefully around your children. And so that's where I learned my colorful metaphors, because mamas are teachers. So if you be careful around your kids and bring them up a certain way, they'll follow. But if you kind of let some things loose, and she was in her 20s when she had us, so it's all good. Hey, everybody curses. God curses. I'm pretty sure. Don't sweat the small stuff. Anyways, but not going too far off key. If you're going to ask the question, what have we done what have we done to deserve what we're about to go through, then that tells me you have not properly done your research. And if you don't care to do the research, then you're being condescending towards things that happened before you. If I'm going to be specific now, since we covered that broad generalization, because I like specifics. I want y'all to know where I'm coming from and where I'm going. Not because of what I feel or what I think is what I've researched. And I had to humble myself down to go with what is, because I was arrogant at one point. But once you start understanding that the story, not his story, because most of his story is a lie to cover up Their bullshit. Now I let one go. Because every time I think about how people took something from me because my ancestors screwed up, and I think that's not fair to me. So I already went through it. Now it's about to happen to you. Some of you. So I referred this person to Big Judah. And she probably went and took a look. And it probably pissed her off. And I would love to get into a conversation with her, but I don't think she could emotionally handle it. Or logically handle it. Not because we're at the turn of a whole world where these planets and asteroids and moons are coming in, and some people just want to see the sun, moon, and stars. But do you know that Earth used to be a part of these planetary systems that are coming in, as opposed to that Big Bang Theory? Do you know we possibly live in a geocentric world and not a heliocentric, meaning the sun revolves around the Earth? Have you considered that, or is this something you're just playing with? You have to rearrange your thoughts for the truth. That maybe somebody lied, never a straight answer, lied, governmental lied, and are lying, have been lying since their freaking beginning of time to put themselves on top. You want to keep rolling with that narrative? You roll your ass right on. That narrative is rolling straight into hell and will never be seen or heard from again. It's going to burn in hell, and everybody that supported it. Not because I said it, because God said it. If you're going to open up a dialogue to people across YouTube in a generalization form, you're a kindergartner. I'm an ancient college professor. I'm going to open the specifics. We can get to the specifics. I don't care if you don't like me down the road. I will tell you, I'm the first to tell you, I love to freak out some white people. I love to freak out some Spanish people. I damn sure love to freak out some Asian people. And I damn sure love to freak out some so-called black people who are Hebrew Israelites, who are ancient people who narrated the planet before their fall. If you don't like that, I can't help you. It's already been done. Everything that's in your damn house, everything that you practice, your privilege, came from the fall of my people. All right? So if you think you're standing around talking about you did something great, yeah, from the time that your people got erected. And it's unfortunate it has a fall like that and sometimes into a skin color, but I didn't write those rules. You had people that got to take over because my people screwed up and they were allowed to rewrite a narrative. And now here we are living in a Eurocentric world. So you've had your chance. This ain't about just your skin color. Do you damn it understand the whole freaking planet is dying because people who came up with a mechanical mind construct, who reverse engineered something that came before them, and some UFOs that fell out the sky who were probably God's chariots, who found out some secrets that they didn't want the rest of the world to know, who constructed vaccines and diseases to control the world population, and they want to keep you dumbed down and working. Do you understand that this is bigger than you? If you want to keep rolling with that narrative, you roll with that narrative straight into hell because that's where it's going. I get so damn irritated with people who think too damn small. And the reason why I say that, because I've been forced to have to think bigger. I can remember being in the military, and I was a United States Marine, and I'm very damn proud of that. But I had to deal with some racist people who, because of my brown skin, and I remember a situation where I outranked a subordinate by 2 clicks up. One of my Marines, his truck flipped off he got hit by, we were in Jordan. His truck got hit by one of the Jordanians' cars. He had a big old 7-ton. It was a hauler, another truck hauler. They got hit on the driver's side. They jumped off the mountain, and they were trying to find out on the map, where exactly where they were. So I got called into the command center. I learned how to work a unit called a Blue Force Tracker, and nobody in that whole unit that I was stationed with on the East Coast in North Carolina, 2012 in Jordan, knew how to work that Blue Force Tracker. Well, I brought that with me from the West Coast. I went through classes on it. All it is a big ass GPS, but it lets you talk to other people because it's a big computer. You can talk to anybody that has the same type GPS on the same frequency as it goes from your unit to the satellite main server stream and bounce around to anybody all over the world, and they can talk back to you via text. That's the technology that helped us win that war in Iraq. So they want to know exactly where this, my Marines, two of my Marines specifically that slept next to me on the boat ride. Their truck had got pushed over a cliff and it broke the truck, and they got dinged up like some little ping balls bounced around. Anyways, so I went into the command center, and this master sergeant who hated me, he was a white guy, hated the fuck out of me. Yeah, I said that. I ain't necessarily like him either. And if I see him to this day, I'd probably knock his ass out. We'd be fighting. Yeah, Marines get to do that. Anyways, I walk into the command center. My subordinate Marine that's 2 ranks below me walk in, and he said, "Hey, get the fuck out of here." And he went and asked that subordinate to try to make me look stupid, where those 2 Marines' coordinates were, who got pushed off the road into a down mountain cliff. He wanted to know where they were. So that Marine, went through all his knowledge, but he didn't know the unit like I knew it. So he just pulled out a standard paper map and tried to give a coordinate, but he was wrong. Well, because I knew where it was, and that truck that got flipped off into the ravine had a Blue Force track on it too, because we put little units on it where we can ping it. So I went to the computer and I pinged exactly where it was, and I gave the grid coordinate after he kicked me out. And I went out, I was steaming. I stood outside the door for I think 2 minutes. I stood out there waiting. And then my sergeant major said, "Hey, come in so you can give us this information. We need to save these Marines' life." So I went and gave him the coordinates. And that master sergeant, he sat there in his seat and looked stupid as frack. And that master sergeant got relieved of his duty because he was out drinking he was an E8, enlisted, rank 8, master sergeant. He got relieved in the middle of we had a 9-month haul. He got relieved at month 6 or 7. Let me see, Jordan. Month 5 or 6, there it is. He got relieved because he was drinking with 2 E3 Marines who were MPs, military police. They were 2 pretty girls. One was a twin, one was a mulatto mix. She had a white parent, black parent. And she looked like Betty Boop, the cartoon. He got relieved, and that was karma after he gave me hell. Him and a few of his other buddies who didn't like me, they all wanted to give me hell. They knew I was intelligent, and they couldn't handle that. So they tried to keep me off balance. Every day, I fought my way through the Marine Corps, and I've heard a lot of my people say, "Don't go to the Marines because it's not a black man's military." Well, that was a challenge for me. And I proved my point, and I kept walking, and I love being a Marine. And I was already past all that skin color. But I have to bring that conversation back because a lot of people keep bringing that stupid conversation back. And I think that's the stupidest conversation because, like I said, I love every race on the damn planet. I just don't like people with ugly spirits. So try to see your way through that. Because I can see through people's flesh and then look into your eyes and tell who's home, whether you're a good person or a bad person at that home. I can tell, and I can feel your energy too. I get to the point where I can see the energy swirling around people. I'm not playing. I meditate on that because I'm not carnal like that. But some people are so carnal, they live through privilege, and now that your privilege is coming down to an end, and now you're starting to ask the question, what did we do wrong? And to you, I would say, go research your history. You got a lot of reading to do. You got a lot of reading to do. A lot. It's going to be a hard road for a lot of yous that are asking these very general, diluted questions, but not going to do the history research. And I can say that I'm pissed off at my ancestors for doing the dumb shit that they did to God that got me in this predicament, but I had to evolve. My parents, my grandparents, my greats, and all of them going back to my ancients, they had to go through that pain and they're evolving. I still feel that pain. When I walk around in the store today, I still see, honestly, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people, Arabic people, and even black people, because we're all screwed up in the head. uh, they give you a weird look like you're a disease and you don't belong. That I've received that, and it's irritating. And I have to be on guard when I walk out. I wish the world would get over this racial barrier, man, because I'll tell you what, anybody that mix babies with anybody, beautiful babies. But I can't say that when, whether you white, Asian, Spanish, Arabic, or anything else, and you have babies with a decent looking black person, so-called black, who is Hebrew Israelite, those babies are beautiful. Not because I'm that color. Hell, if I was white as all get up, or Hispanic or Asian, I still would think that black is beautiful. That y'all say. But you know why? Because I'm already in that mindset. I think white is beautiful. I think Asians are beautiful. Spanish are beautiful. Indians are beautiful. And brown people are beautiful. You can ask any one of my Marines, even if they had a problem with me, they will always say that I treated them fair. Not because I'm a pushover, not because I'm a wimp, not because I'm freaking diluted, not because I'm watered down. It's because I saw their soul, even the evil ones. If I had to curse their ass out, chew them up, whether they was higher rank than me or lower rank, and trust me, I chewed up a lot of my superiors, and they could not handle me. You know why? Because I freaking did my homework. While a lot of my homies was out at the club in Hawaii partying, you know I was at some days, especially on the weekend, in the books. So I had a plan A through B. A through Z, rather. Z through A. And nothing has changed. A lot of y'all going to have to get over yourself. I know y'all don't like it. I know you're comfortable where you are. But there's a reason why the world is turned upside down. There's a reason why COVID is here. There's a reason why these planets are coming in across our solar system, intermingling with our planet. We don't even know what shape of planet we live on. Some people saying it's flat. Some people saying it's round. We don't know what kind of world solar system we live in. We don't know if the freaking South Pole is an island or it extends further out. And that's why they put up this little armistice that says that nobody shall own the South Pole. Y'all can't even explain UFOs. I can't even explain them, but I've caught them. Y'all see my videos. That ain't no Photoshop. That's real. And I wasn't even looking for them. I was pointing at my cameras at the sky. This is prior to me getting my night vision. The first two that I caught in broad day, like, was the silver UFO was actually flying behind me from south to north. The second one that flew past the Space Force jet, he was going south to north. It went south, and it went south real fast. And I caught one snapshot of it, and you see it on my videos. So I knew this stuff was here. I knew that a solar system was coming in because God downloaded that into me when I was around about 12 years old. Yeah, that's when my grandfather died. Yeah, about 12, 13 or 14, something like that. In my dream, it was nighttime. I saw a whole solar system come in, looked like the Andromeda system. It was coming from like above my head towards the earth. And it was always nighttime. And now we have these planets. So I'm not surprised. I've had the privilege of having the other DNA intermingled into my DNA. And that's why I look the way I look. And trust me, complexion does have a lot to do with everything. And the reason why I say that, when Bruce Willis did the movie Tears of the Sun, it was out in Hawaii. I was out there because I got to meet Bruce Willis. This was 2002. Yeah, 2002. He came and did the movie because at the same time The Rock did the movie The Rundown. And they were looking for dark-skinned black people to play the African soldiers. That movie was filmed out in Hawaii. Guess what? This guy didn't make the cut. And I really wanted to be in that movie. But a lot of my boys did. And they still pick on me to this day because they black, like mocha chocolate, that they made the movie and they got a big old paycheck from it. You know, nice size paycheck. But they was happy to be in the movie. And I'm mad as hell. That was the first time I was just like, man, get out my face, man. You mofo. No, but I was glad they made the movie. And I got to sit down and hang out with Bruce Willis and eat tacos with him because, you know, everybody loves Marines. So, skin complexion does get you either gets you a long way or a short way. So let's get off ourselves. Everybody got some kind of privilege. Black people got some kind of internal privilege. White people got broad spectrum of privilege because y'all are ruling the world right now. Y'all need to get over it. Since you think that this is over, you can ask the question, what did we do wrong? But you damn it better do your research. And the reason why I'm putting this video out, I'm not trying to knock the person that I'm addressing it to, I'm putting it towards everybody, because you're not going to come on YouTube and try to skew people and try to slide them back in your direction and that like you pissed off and that like this all about you because you stuck on your privilege, because you don't understand nothing bigger than what you've accepted, because it would be too much for you to handle. Guess what? I had to handle a lot too. And look how strong I turned out. Freaking doggone strong. Marine Corps strong. Ain't nobody playing. Army strong. My dad was an Army dog. Freaking Air Force strong. That was my uncle. My other homies and my other uncle, Navy strong. Anyways, beyond all that, we're all still Americans. We are all still humanity. But if you're going to start asking arrogant questions that, what have we done? We don't deserve this. The people that came and invaded America, that so-called put my people into slavery, they killed off the damn chiefs, they killed off the Indians or the warriors, and they raped the children. Your Christopher Columbus raped little boys. And y'all hail him as some freaking great savior. If I was gonna rape some little boys or some little girls today, y'all put me in prison. So don't let me play that freaking game with me, man. I got children. Y'all got children. Would you want some grown dude raping on your child or some minor that didn't deserve it? Like, honestly. And at some point in history, teenagers were having children in the ancient time because God said, go forth and make children. And it was on in their teenage years. Like, what was it, from probably 12 all the way up to like until they decide to stop having children? It's in the Bible. That was a different time. Now that we've hit our freaking peak of humans on the planet, on this plane of existence, they had to set forth some rules to say, hey, you can't have children until you're 18. Well, you know, some people still are having babies from 17 on down. Just when Haiti got hit with them earthquakes, a lot of people from America that went down there to help aid them were raping the little girls. And you had little girls that were 10 and 11 and 12-year-olds with newborn babies. You still got police shooting up people. And in that topic, where I was trying to get to earlier, I can't stand some so-called black people when they start acting like negroids. I don't even want to say the word. It's easy for me to say it, but like I you know, I understand the word, but I try not to. Since y'all ain't ready, I have to hold my tongue back, because I'm ready. I can say nigga, I can say nigger, I can say negro. It's nothing. Some the way you say the word has a hateful tone to it. Other words means like, hey, what's up, my dude, or I'm gonna kick your butt in black terms. And for everybody else that don't really use that word, they just don't. And you know so funny? It's brown people with complexions like me that live outside of the United States, because I'm friends with them, who speak French, who speak Spanish, or they are so far removed from America, they don't understand the word nigger. They've never heard of it. And they got hair nappy as mine, skin darker than mine. So they've never had to go through that struggle. That was a struggle created here in the Americas. So now that y'all understand, the world is broader and bigger than y'all. I do none of that of brown people who look like me. But then some of my Hebrew Israelites did go to different parts of the world. They got scattered abroad, just like the Bible said. I ain't trying to bore y'all with this conversation, but the main pick, and I'm trying not to get hot. I'm not trying to let my emotions get the best of me. But if you're going to ask a question about what have we done and we did nothing to absolutely deserve this, we did nothing to deserve this, then I'm going to say you need to go get a reality check. You need to do a historical check. You need to embrace that your ancestors screwed up, and you need to embrace the fact that my God, the most high true God, your God that you reject, said that I'm going to let you put my people in slavery, but you were only supposed to kill off a certain specific type that I told you. What happened was a lot of y'all people got trigger happy, your ancestors, and they started killing off everybody and was like, we're going to rule the world. And here we are today in 2021. The world has already been ruled. The world has already been damaged. And now The Most High is coming back to appropriate things, and you don't like it. Can't help you. You need to talk to him. You've already been talking to him, that fallen angel, and his peoples, and he gave you privilege. If you feel a little twinge in the back of your head, running down your spine, where you feel like in your heart that you might start hating Third Eye Cam, I do not care. I've been known this. I've known it my entire life. I'm not going to water down myself for anybody when I do hit that topic, because I will not be going to my grave for misleading people. At the end of all that harsh rhetoric and conversation, by the time we get past all that, you're going to have to accept it and grow with it, embrace it, that you did have your privilege, like my ancestors had their privilege, and God had to put them in check. And I still feel the brunt end of that, because I'm a good-looking dude, man. I always been a good-looking dude. I'm getting older now, but I look older because I'm stressed, and I since I broke my leg, I don't get to exercise. I like to exercise. I want to die with muscles, and I'm going to die with muscles, but I haven't been able to do a good run in 4 years? Since 17, 18, 19, 20, yep, 4 years. Anyways, going forward, people, whether you are a twisted spirit or a good spirit, slow yourself down, expand and expound your brain cavity to do research to find out the truth. You want to keep living a lie, live it. I don't care. It don't make me no difference. You know, I'll help live after all this judgment is over. I'll walk you straight to hell. See, in 1,000 years, 2,000, 4,000 years, maybe never. But if you accept the fact that your peoples had their time, like my peoples had their time, then you have just already outgrown your own skin and you're thinking broader. But if you're sitting here asking, what have we done on a generalization, but you're not going into specifics, and you painting a picture like you did nothing wrong. Yeah, you didn't do nothing wrong, but you did live off the privilege. You lived off the privilege. I lived off the burden all my life. Sometimes I take a deep breath of irritation to have to go through what I deal with and to think about what my ancestors did that did not deserve it, that got raped, the women and the men that were used to be boys and girls, they got traumatized. The ones who got shot up, traumatized for doing nothing just because they had brown skin. The ones who got their heads cut off, got their man members cut off to be put into a jar, their body parts. What the hell did they do? They just got born after their ancestors fucked up. They just got born and they got tormented. It pisses me off every day that I think about it. Imagine if you got kids and like you have to watch them get raped or cut up or killed or hung or get their heads cut off and they did nothing. So I get where you're coming from with the question, but you also got to look at the fact that the Most High said that pretty much what your peoples did to his chosen people is that you're going to get double. Something like that to that effect. Go look it up. I'm still learning my books. At some point, I'm going to be well versed in saying what I'm saying, and I'm not going to cut no corners. I don't believe in cutting corners and trying to hide stuff. I'd rather throw it in your face so I can look you in your eyes and see you go through the transition of learning, just like it's been thrown at me. But everything that's been thrown at me has been lies. A lot. My poor parents was tricked into it. My parents were born in. Damn, my alarm's going off. My parents were born into the era where they were colored and they had to go drink at the colored water fountain. And honestly, white people scared my parents because all they know is they got born into some kind of hell where they saw people getting just slaughtered, civilized people, because we were under God's curses. You know, it's a lot of people that I do watch on the tube. There's this one guy, I like his breakdown of the world, but he has a great hate for God, and I feel bad for him and he's very closed-minded, but he's very intelligent, and he's a brown brother. but he hates God. So I like digging through all the specifics and getting the information, and I don't just like sticking on generals. I don't like swimming on top of the water. I like to swim deep into it and find out what's going on. And I will admonish a lot of y'all to do the same so that you can learn. That's going to help you evolve. If you remain on top on some shallow water, screaming that you didn't do nothing, then you and God are going to have a long talk. You, God, and Satan. I'm pretty sure Satan's going to be present at all y'all conversations that y'all going to have with God. Everybody's going to get judged. If you have seeds beyond you, they're going to get judged. All of us were born with a certain amount of evil in us that we have to tame. At the end of the day, you got to check yourself. I do that quite frequently, and it don't bother me. So, if you feel irritated by my conversation today, I really don't care. You know, it's a lot of people beyond me that's going to come out with some specific stuff that's going to hurt y'all feelings. Again, I'm going to refer a lot of y'all to Big Judah. B-I-G-J-U-D-H. I was trying to put all the G and the J together. I do that sometimes. Big Judah. Go listen to him. And he'll refer you to a lot of other people so you can help figure this thing out. This ain't nothing about skin color. Honestly, Satan and all his children made it about skin color. How dare you question God on something that he put together, and he put your ass together? How dare you question him? He could have made you ugly as all get up. From what I understand, Satan was a very fair and good looking person till God cursed him. And now he hates God, and his children the same, because he wanted to have his privilege. And everybody that's having their privilege and power today in this world, they follow him. And everybody that's asking these vague questions, what have we done to deserve this? We did nothing absolutely to deserve this. They follow Satan. Why don't you grab your balls and ask God what's up? I do it all the time. I get my answers whether I like it or not. So y'all gonna have to grow the hell up. A lot of y'all been tricked. I just got freed up for the past, since 2015. 6 years now. Actually, it was before that, but that's when the answers started coming to me. Because I've been asking the question since I realized that I was so-called black and so-called born into slavery. That was a projected lie from his story. But then I learned the mystery, my story, that wasn't even the case. Somebody flipped the script and put a whole lot of lies out there in the narrative. Just like today with them trying to cover these planets up. That's why my videos are getting flagged with all types of stupidity. Because somebody don't want y'all to know that there's a high power over their asses. They want y'all to think that they are the elites, that they rule the world, that they get to make the decisions. But you're going to find out after all this blows over, they're going to be the lowest being in heaven and hell. And trust me, there's some beings in hell that's pretty low that want some fresh meat to eat, some fresh souls. We'll hit these topics later. I just had to hit this because, I know the person put the video out probably because I pissed them off and referred them to Big Judah. I do not care, and I hope she sees my video. I'd like to dialogue with her if she can keep up, not being insulting, but you put it out there just where your mind is at. Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to outrun what God is bringing. You just ain't. Nobody is. I'm gonna go through the hell too. All of us gonna have to walk through that fire to see if we're worthy, like walking over a bridge to get to heaven. And if you ain't worthy, your soul's gonna fall into that fire pit, straight to hell. That's the way it's been explained. So, hey, welcome all comments. Tell me if you didn't like this. Tell me if you don't like me. I don't care. I don't care. I still love you. You know why? Because there's room for you to grow. I'm still growing. I don't have all the answers. I'm still researching. That's why I'm in the sky. That's why I'm in my books. That's why I'm learning about computers at this school. I'm in a learning state of mind. I've hit my frequency, my higher echelon of frequency, and I refuse to let it hold back. Because when I wasn't focused in school back in my days, and I made some C's, D's, and E's and F's, A lot of people called me dumb because they were working for the world, and I'm glad I didn't climb that ladder of success like they did, because it's going to be hard for them to come down that ladder, whereas I can step down that ladder and then go choose a different ladder that's going to actually propel me higher, so I'm not stuck in the ways of the world. And I'm so glad for that. I was never dumb. A lot of people call me dumb, and it really used to hurt my feelings. I'm over that now, because I actually went further in life than they did. Hoorah. All right. For now, we're signing off with this topic. We'll come back and hit it later. Like I said, give me your comments. Let me know whether you agree, disagree. I don't mind dialoguing. The world's getting ready to get a lot more interesting. And the way I look at it is 2020 was your focus was getting captured. 2020, like 2020 vision. All right, everybody's focused now. Here comes COVID, we focus. Here comes this, here comes that. 2021 is the one up. So everybody that's been getting put down is getting one up. Everybody that was one up is getting put down. 2022, the playing ground is about to get evened. 2022, everything's about to get evened out. I mean, I'll be able to see you approaching me. You'll be able to see me approaching you. You ain't gonna be able to trick me, and I ain't gonna be able to trick you. It's gonna be a straight up battle, just like in the movies where they coming at each other with the axes. Ain't no bullets getting thrown. There's axes and swords. Straight up, that's how I get down. That's the even out of the playing field. 2 and 2 is even. We'll get on 23 through whatever as we go, but that's so far how it's been. And has that not been the narrative? Everybody got focused in 2020 after the world stopped with COVID, and then these planets were coming in. 2021 is the one up, because we ain't doing too good. Everybody that was above is not doing too good. 2022, that's when the war about to start. Right around the corner. That's the battlefield, even ground. Like I said, I wasn't ready really to bring this conversation, but now as good as any time, because certain people starting to ask really ridiculous questions. And the reason why I say that is ridiculous because they're playing the question like they're innocent. And maybe that person didn't do anything, but you lived off the privilege, and you're going to have to understand and go into history to understand your position on the checkerboard. I know my position. I know I didn't deserve to get done the way my ancestors did me, but even when I proved myself intelligent, people still try to find a way to put me down and make me seem like I had one guy straight up, I was way more intelligent than him, and when he found out what I was, he called me a dumb black nigger. I could have ended his life, but he was running away from me when he said it. We were both driving trucks. He came down the road exceeding the speed limit, and I was in the actually I was in the slow lane. It was just me and him out there. 2-lane. I was in the fast lane. I saw him coming, and I slid over to the slow lane because I was in a company truck. He was in obviously his own rig with no governor. And when he blew by me, he looked in the window at me as I'm driving. So I looked left, he looked right, because I was into him like, what the frack? We're going down the mountain, and this is out in West Virginia. He blows by me, jumps on his radio. Get the F out the way, you dumb black nigger. I could have killed that dude. That was my military mindset back then. Now, I'll probably just walk away, because you're going to have to handle that with God. And also depends on the way the wind is blowing with me. But I'm in a Confederate state called Virginia, and there's a lot of that around here. You remember Charlottesville? Yeah, I'm not far from there. And that stuff exists. And honestly, I'm going to tell y'all, with me I'm from North Carolina. That's one state south. I went west, had a beautiful life out there, out in Hawaii and California. Very oriented with different cultures and different people. So ain't not one people can step over the other. I mean, everybody stays in their prospective hoods, but they all respect each other. But over here, this place is overran with ridiculous and rich history, where everything's black, white, and Indian, and it's just it's a slave mentality. On the West Coast, it's a pioneering mentality, and I loved it. Thank God for some people and their cultures. And that moment, I'll say thank God for Hispanics. because and Samoans and Hawaiians and Asian people, they run the Pacific. They do have their shortcomings in certain areas, but overall, man, it was just good to be around them people and get away from just black and white. Nothing wrong with black and white, but it's the mentality that you put with it, like a ball and chain. Over on the East Coast, everything has a slave mentality. Even the black people have a slave mentality of hate. If they see you doing better than them, they're going to screw with you. I honestly, right now, I stay away from my own peoples. They still got that slave mentality. Everybody, this is what pisses me off about black people. That's how you know I'm real. I can't stand these black folks for running around with their freaking, their pants hanging off their ass, wearing these clown color outfits, trying to look like they're in a freaking rap video. And I watch hip hop get born. I done met a lot of rappers. A lot of these people ain't never met no rappers, so they're in that video mindset. I done met so many freaking famous people, man. It's like they family. It's nothing. Hell, I got some peoples that's famous. One of them is Drake's favorite rapper. My other dude's about to come out with some hot stuff. KO, what up? But like, real talk, let's get over ourselves. I done ran over with this conversation in damn near an hour, pretty much an hour. But I'm glad if you stayed to listen. Thank you. If y'all feel like y'all want to dialogue with me, man, I have no problem. I did this with my Marines, so I'm well versed in it. And I'm talking about with Marines that never dealt with black people, never dealt with Hispanic people because they were white. Of course, they grew up in the middle of America where it was cornfields and just living in their isolated town. I dealt with a lot of them, and I had to help rehabilitate them to be around different people, not because they hated it, they just never been. And they turned out to one of my Marines, man, he never been around no Hispanic people, no Asian people, no black people, and he ended up marrying, I think she was a Hispanic chick. He did have a few black girlfriends, along the way, but, he never dealt with that, and he fell in love with it. So just because you came away from 1492 and 1619 to 2019, and you got that mentality of all the elites that's in those offices, they're about to die off. They're trying to figure out how to control the world's population so that their children don't have to be in servitude to nobody else's skin color. That's how they think. They're very ignorant. But you can't stop that. If God says it's going to be made so, then it's going to be made so. I didn't say it. The person's asking, what do we deserve? They don't get to say it. And they can come up with all kinds of attitudes they come up with. And in the end, I'm going to be laughing at you in your calamity because you are trying to be a sarcastic Karen. And I mean that by the way you bringing off yourself. If you're going to ask that question, then I'm going to answer. I'm going to help you get to that answer. And if I can't give you, I can give you all that I can. But if I can't give you any more, then I'm going to refer you to other people. And that's why I referred her to Big Judah. I hope you see this video. I hope you grow from it. We can continue this conversation. We can keep still asking that ridiculous question, which means you are incapable of evolving because you're going to be forced to evolve like me and my peoples were. A lot of people about to see clear and true from this point going forward. 2020 and 2021 were a eye-opener and a wake-up. Now 2022, the playing ground is about to get even. And a lot of people that were doing dirt, I'm talking about real freaking hateful dirt, you're about to be exposed. No matter if you're high on your elite status or low to whatever level that you're at. Don't matter your skin color. All of us about to feel it, man. About to feel it. All right, I'm out of here. We'll continue this conversation because I didn't even mean to hit this. But when I saw the person's video, I was like, yo, I'm going to go ahead and answer this. I don't mind. I don't mind taking my time out. I will say as far as Alex, I've run him into the ground so bad that he's making stupid videos where he's flying drones or he's getting other people's videos, flying drones, looking at the ground, doing flips with the camera, talking about no planets here. And every time you come to my page or Planet X Hunters page, you see a freaking planet flying over. Like, there's one over here right now. Matter of fact, let me step out. Let's step out. I'm gonna end this with that. That's how you know I'm not off my deal. So show you how we keep it over here. And then I'm gonna be out. I thank y'all for spending time with me, but I had to cover that topic because this person really irritated me with that. And I think she caught an attitude with me, and that's why I'm answering her. And I hope that we go deeper. So she's gonna have a lot to learn that when you ask a specific question in a general, you're gonna have somebody like me that's gonna answer it and point you in the right direction so you can unfrack yourself. It's a planet behind me. The sun is setting. Where is it? There. Where is the dang sun? Past the building. Yep, there it is. My camera's off. There it is. All right, so my other planet just passed over this way. The reason why I want to take my face off the camera because I just don't feel like flipping the camera. It kind of screws with just yeah. But yeah, so you can see where the sun is here, and you can see where this is all lit up. That's a planet. That's a planet. Those are not just clouds. That's a planet. And then you got it all over my head too. So, anyways, yeah, I done flipped Polar Alex's head because Alex is out here playing games and Third Eye Cam ain't playing. Now I got to go flip somebody else's head, and I'm being respectful by not saying your name because it's too easy to say, even your initials. But I'm giving you time to figure it out so you can unscrap yourself. If you're gonna ask a question that I deem ridiculous because you're keeping it in a general tone, then you are not worth that question that you answered. But if you're gonna go into the specifics to find out where your ancestors and learn that your ancestors screwed up and that God put a mandate on it, and God put a mandate on my peoples who screwed up, and we already caught our hell. Now that our hell is over and you recognize it and you know that you're about to begin your hell double time, and you're running from it, I feel like I want to laugh at you. But I'm not, because this is serious. I'll laugh at you later when you get to acting more stupider. But if you correct yourself, we won't be laughing. We'll start the rehabilitation, because everybody's got to go through rehabilitation. Even the racist people and the privileged people got to go through rehabilitation. Your racist ancestors who beat the crap out of my ancestors and raped them and cut off their heads and shot them up, they in hell right now. Your poor old sweet great-great-grandpa, great-great-grandma that was a wiry old person who died feeble, they went straight to hell because they did some horrible shit. Just like my ancestors, they did some horrible stuff to God, and they probably were really beautiful, and God sent them straight to hell. I ain't trying to go to hell. I'm already living it. Earth is hell. All right, we'll be back. Third Eye Cam. Boof.